we continue with our class Kosher Kitchen, and this class should be dedicated also to Leilu Nishmas, my grandfather, Rabbi Refuel ben Simcha. Okay, Allah Shalom. And also L'chabla Rifah Shlema to our dear Yaron Ruven, Shlita, his name is Yaron ben Doris, also to Yehudis Bas Noach, Ariela Ora Bas Anna, Imim Rasi Rachel Bas Brindel, David Shlomo ben Sandra, David Abraham ben Hannah. And also a quick release. Moshe Shmuel ben Pnina. So I told him that we learned his merit, and he was very grateful, right, to everybody. HaShem. Okay, so we continue with our class Kosher Kitchen, and we start chapter 18, and our topic is Tevilas Keilim, right? Immersion of the utensil in a Mikveh. So let's quickly read the table of content, and it says when Tevilah is required, so meaning not all of the materials, right? Material that require Tevilah, type of utensil that require Tevilah, prior ownership that makes Tevilah mandatory, right? So we'll see it belongs to a non-Jew. The type of acquisition that make Tevilah mandatory. So meaning, did we get it? Did we buy it, or it was lended to us? Preparation of the utensil prior Tevilah. Bracha on Tevilah. So as we're going to see, not in some things we're going to Tovel, but without blessing. The Tevilah process. Okay, and questions. And questions: may one borrow a non-Jewish utensil to use without Tevilah? Very good question. May one use a new pot once without Tevilah? So that's the famous one. Okay. Next one: China dishes require do China dishes require Tevilah? Next one: may one use a non-Tovel camping pocket knife to cut an apple? Non-Tovel camping pocket knife. Okay. Very interesting. What should one do when invited to the home of someone who has not Tovel his utensils? So that's an issue, as we understand. May one reuse Snapple bottle without Tevilah? Okay. If one bought an electric appliances that mark do not immerse in water, may it be used without Tevilah? Okay, so I think some of these topics will be covered before. I'm not sure if in this book, in the different books, or somebody asked the question, but now we're going to go like everything in a sequence, in a orderly fashion. Okay. And we start with introduction, of course, and it says, in previous chapters we have learned that the Torah requires us to refrain from eating particular foods and food mixtures. The Jewish people has chosen for a unique role of the Machlekes Kohanim, a priestly kingdom, and Goy Kadosh, the holy nation, food that harms us spiritually, and hinder us from fulfilling our divine mission, are forbidden to us. This chapter discusses the Torah mandate that even the utensil in which our food is prepared must be consecrated prior to use by immersion in the Mikveh. Okay, there is a commentary. Just as a convert to Judaism required the consecration of Tevilah to enter Jewish faith, so two food utensils are acquired by a Jew from a non-Jew require Tevilah. This is yet another illustration of the effect of the food upon the spiritual status. The source of the requirement Tevilah is a section in the Torah dealing with vessels seized in a battle from Midianites. Among these were the food utensils. The Torah decreed that all Midianites' utensils must be purged of their non-kosher taste. See chapter 14, right? We're on 18, okay. By being koshered, and then consecrated for Jewish use, immersion in the Mikveh. So actually, okay, in chapter 14, when we are talking about kosher in the kitchen, I think for Pesach, we went utensil by utensil, took us some time, Baruch HaShem. So after that, we mentioned that the next step, like before you are ready to use, you must dip it into Mikveh. So this is Tevilah. Okay. So let's do this introduction from the beginning, and we're going to add some things, of course. So again, in the previous chapter, we learned that the Torah requires us to refrain from eating particular foods and the foods and mixture. So foods and mixture, everybody knows, I think. Like even the non-Jews, they know that the Jew have a different diet. Okay, some special diet, maybe they're not sure about the particular details, but they know. Okay. The Jewish people are chosen for a unique role of Macheles Kohanim, the priestly kingdom, and Goy Kadosh. So meaning this designation of the Jewish nation, right, to be the priestly kingdom, right, to the whole world, and Goy Kadosh, the holy nation, meaning it's a spiritual status. It's not physical, but it can be ruined through the physical thing. So because physical and spiritual are always connected for us. For other people, there is no difference whatsoever. So for non-Jews, if they are not going to eat not kosher food, there is no problem. It's not prohibited, first of all, for them, and it's not going to affect them. Right? And not going to affect them. So the only thing that non-Jews are not allowed to do in the food business is not to eat from the live animal. That's it. So, but if they kill animal in any way they want, right? Preferably that does not suffer too long. So yeah, so they can eat it, no problem. Right, but the Jews are different. Foods that harm us spiritually and hinder us from the fulfilling our divine missions are forbidden to us. So, meaning that Torah say, right? HaShem said in His in His wisdom, right, that He created all the things. So these spiritually unclean foods, or in this case, like utensils, are going to be for our detriment. Understand? So spiritually, like, what is the difference? So a person says, I'm going to wash my plates, my pot, like under the sink. So you want me to wash it with the cold water? I'm going to cold water, hot water. So it is clean. But if you think, yeah, it is clean, they use dish soap 17 times, and it is clean. So it's not about this. It's spiritual. Like a spiritually immersion, and we're going to see the requirement, the size of this mikveh. It's not so simple. It's not so simple, but not doing so is going to affect person spiritually. So all of these people who semi kosher, you can feel it. You can feel by the way they talk, the way they express things, right? The way they understand Torah. Or do not understand Torah, or right? So you feel you can detect that something is wrong. This chapter discusses the Torah mandate that even the utensil of which our food is prepared must be consecrated prior to use by immersion in the mikveh. So now he gives a definition. So this. Toveling, like immersion in the mikveh, is considered to be consecration. Right, consecration commentary. This applies only to those utensils acquired by a Jew. One may borrow and use utensil of a non-Jew, assuming there is no kashrut problem. So meaning what? If a person, you're not Jewish. Neighbor, so he bought this just pot, new set of pots. So it's all in the packaging. So theoretically, you can borrow from him and use it without toveling. Theoretically, because it's not yours, it's his. Okay. So, but we try not to do it. Of course, everybody know. Like if you forgot to tovel the utensils into what is it, into into Mikveh before Shabbos, maybe before Friday night. What are you going to do? And some say, yeah, you should give it to a Jew as a non-Jew as a gift, then borrow from him. All of these things. Okay, so I think we're going to talk about it. Okay, so again, when we dip utensil in a mikveh, we consecrate them. So now they can be used for holiness. Just as a convert to Judaism requires the consecration of Tevilah, so meaning it's a last step after they pass all of the previous steps. So the last step, they dip into mikveh, and now they get from this mikveh as a Jewish person with a Jewish soul. That's how important this process of Tevilah is, and that's how holy this process is. So without this Toveling, so even for example, woman, she has one hair that was not Tovel, so she's not a Tahara. For example, right? So women with the long hair, they have to wet them very good, and they have to go as a deeper to make sure. And of course, there is a mikveh lady, so she supervises. So all of the hairs would be under the water. Very important, very very important. Right. Continue. So okay, so same is with conversion. So it's like a consecration of consecration of this person into the Jewish faith. Soto with utensil acquired by Jew from a non-Jew required Tevilah. Right. So we're going to see some lenience. If it's a utensil that was produced by a Jew. Well, we'll see. Or a Jewish factory. We'll see. This yet another illustration of the effect of the food upon the spiritual status. So it's not even the food, it's utensils that we're going to use, and we're not talking about we bought something used. It's needless to say, that's understandable use. But even you bought a new set of pots from internet, brand new, everything is sealed. So you must, before you use them the first time, you have to dip them in the mikveh. Right, and the source is, of course, it's a famous source when the Jewish nation fought with Midianites and then came back with with a lot of things that they captured, and through them were eating utensils. So it's there clearly from the Torah. Say whatever was used for cooking, go through the hot water, right? Purge it through the hot water. Whatever was cooking for used for frying, we use with fire. Okay. So section number 1. When Tevilah is required. Okay. Not all utensils acquired by a Jew require Tevilah. Okay. So not all of them. The requirement of Tevilah depends upon the following. A. The material of which the utensil is made. Some material, for example wood, do not require Tevilah. B. How utensil will be used. Whether or not the utensil will be used with food. Okay. And C. Whether or not the utensil was previously owned by a non-Jew. And D. Whether or not the utensil is presently in possession of a Jew. These factors will be discussed in this section. So before we continue, let's review these factors again. So again, not all utensils acquired by a Jew requires Tevilah. Not all of them. So it depends on the material. So some materials do not require Tevilah. Some materials, as we said in introduction, they will require Tevilah, but without blessing. Okay. So example that he gives, wood do not require Tevilah. Utensil that will be used. How the utensil will be used, whether or not they will use it with food. So meaning food, what does it mean food? Like if it's eating utensil, of course it will be used with food. I also just explain not really. If it's food, meaning something edible, right? So for example, if you have a board, like a current board for meat, right? When you work with raw meat, of course, raw meat is not food. Right, I mean not edible food, so technically you're not obligated to tovel it, or some other things. For example, people have mixing bowl, mixing bowl, they mix their they do the dough, right? Flour is not edible. I mean, of course, some people under sort of circumstances they would eat flour, but under normal circumstances, it's not edible. Nobody eats the dough, right? And right, so it would be in this category. So meaning not something that does not connect to food. Next one, whether or not the utensil was previously owned by a non-Jew. So meaning you bought from even from a Jewish owner. So sometimes if he took it on credit, right? So he takes it on credit from a supplier. So is it his? Like he sells us in a store. It's not his. It's not his. Only when we paid him, right? And he it's borrowed from another guy. So right. So it's not his. But if you know, for example, that it was made by a Jew and sold by a Jew, so that's a different story. So, for example, I mean, I think we will tovel everything, absolutely everything. So one thing that we're not required to tovel, or a few things, is a kiddush cup, because for sure it's a handmade. I mean, you see, it's handmade, and it's made by a Jew, right? We bought it in Yerushalayim, so but still. I dipped it. I wanted to dip just in case. Of course, we took something else on which for sure to say blessing. For example, a knife, or to have a spoon or a knife, or some of glass, made of glass. So you say blessing, and this you can dip. Right? You can dip wood. You can dip plastic, anything. But blessing you would not be able to say. Okay. So, but if you have some metal, you say blessing on one utensil. You say Keilim. Tevilas Keilim, meaning in plural. So I want to tovel many utensils, and then you dip one for which you for sure require a blessing, and then you dip 17 others, no problem. And D, whether or not the utensil is presently in possession of a Jew. Okay, there is factor discussed in this section. So let's start with HaShem, the general requirement. Number one, new utensils. Although the biblical source of the mitzvah is Tevilah Keilim, relates to the used utensils that required koshering as well. The requirement of Tevilah applies to all utensils that belong to a non-Jew, regardless of whether they were previously used. Okay, so again from the beginning. When we were talking about in Torah in this in Torah about this battle with Midianites, so for sure all of this, or majority of this utensil were used, right? And there we said we have to kosher them, so meaning that to bring it to the neutral status, and then we're going to dip, right? To dip in the mikveh. So same here. They say whether it's if it was used, you have to kosher them first. If it was not used, you just have to tovel them. Okay. So for all of the utensil, again, that belongs to non-Jew. Okay. So it doesn't matter they were used or not used. Again, if they were used, you have to kosher them. Continue. Number two. Right. Number two, a use of a vessel prior to Tevilah. Okay. Okay. It is so that's right. As we said, some people say, yeah, only one time. Use of the vessel prior to Tevilah. It is forbidden to use a vessel prior to Tevilah, even if no mikveh is available. Contrary to the common misconception that even a single use is underlined, of the vessel is prohibited, from Tevilah. I'm not sure. I don't remember where this misconception came from. I think I read it some time ago, but I don't remember. But some people, they can swear on their life that you can use it one time. Don't remember where it came from. Okay, so but anyway, so coming to this, say regarding one who eats in a home or a restaurant that not immerse the dishes or silverware. So some people, right? So some people is very, very careful, and they ask, for example, they go to the wedding and they ask caterer. They have a mashgiach, right? Mashgiach, who is supervising the food, right? All of these plates were Tovel, And sometimes you would be surprised. Many times they were not. They were not. So it's. I mean, it's. I'm not sure. It's such a big issue, and sometimes they would use they would have mixed wedding. So mixed wedding meaning some half of food is going to be kosher, half of food is going to be treif. So I think they use their like plastic, nice plates for kosher, but they were plastic. Because I mean, how it's only a matter of time, and so somebody takes the kosher plate, right, and go and you use it for a treif. Okay, so that's of course understandable. All right, so again, it is forbidden to use the vessel prior to Tevilah. Okay, so even if no mikveh is available. Okay, and we're going to discuss what could be a mikveh. So I mean, where we go, it's like a mikveh in a supermarket on a side, they do service for a community. That's amazing. But technically, you can do mikveh in many places, like a natural gathering of water. You have ocean, you have lake, you have a river, right? You can do that. You have a well, you can do that. Okay? It just has a certain requirement that we're going to learn, right? So again, we're not allowed to use this vessel, that in a contact, being in contact with food, edible food. I think we're going to say that, right? Even once, right before the right. So even the non-immersible vessels require Tevilah and should therefore not be purchased, right? So we're going to see. Even one who previously used the vessel on many occasions without Tevilah may not continue use it without Tevilah. So, okay, two things that we have to consider. So, a person that buys not immersible vessel. What is it? Not immersible. You buy water urn, right? And of course, it's not immersible. Like it has all the electronic stuff like that. So buy it from the kosher store, right? There's if you go to Amazon, you can buy from in a kosher style, right? That's what we bought, right? But technically, if you disassemble it, disassemble and assemble back, there is no problem. You can use it. Or same with the toaster, right? Go deep the toaster. Even though people say, yeah, you can, if you dip it, you can dry it up. But you see, the mikveh that we use, it's not a lake, it's like a mikveh, right? Rain water, and it has a lot of chlorine in there, right? Because people dip things, right? It's had a lot of chlorine, so you have to wash, right? It's spiritually pure, but physically you have to wash very well, right? So meaning, if you want to do the toaster, it's not going to work out so well. All right, but we're going to see if you have a convection oven or something. So we're not going to immerse everything, but parts of it, yes, we have to like trace or something. Yes, we will need to immerse. Again, not allowed to use it even once, right? And even if person, it's very important point, right? Even a person use this utensil many times, it does not make it permissible. Just you've been using it for 17 years. You bought it new, you never use it for non-kosher food, does not mean that you're allowed to use it one more time tonight. That's it. Absolutely forbidden. Okay, so we're going to see the way out, of course. Right, how at least with electric appliances to disassemble and assemble back. Okay, continue. So, all right, or he said, this non-immersible vessels require Tevilah. So if you're not ready to assemble back, and you don't want buy from Jews, right? The Jews that have this certification that it is kosher. You don't need to tovel them, right? Or don't buy it. Okay. Okay, continue. One should note the following. Food prepared in a non-immersed vessel is unaffected by and may be eaten. Again, food prepared in non-immersed vessel is unaffected and may be eaten. So it is not proper, but after the fact, we can eat, right, the food. But we're going to see, of course, since it can affect our spiritual status, right? So again, the food is not 100% forbidden, but can affect spiritual status. What are you going to do? Right, and of course, like I had several complaints. But a few people used to be in this class as well, so they knew Baal Teshuvah, and they are glad to see everybody, and they want to invite the people to their home, and people they complain, how come? Look, I'm such a good person. I come to their house and I invite them to my house. What am I going to cook? Look, everything I bought from a kosher supermarket. It's like I don't have milk. I have problem with dairy, so I don't use dairy. There is only meat. Like I want to cook chicken, and they're not going to come. And people do all of these excuses. So I told this person, look, did you told your utensils? Say, well, what is toveling? Okay, the person learned about Kosher, but they did not learn about Tovel. So people don't want to come, and some people they try to be politically correct, and they don't want to say the person. Like, I don't know, what is the problem? So this person happened to me maybe three times minimum, I think more. Right? So other people, like Jewish people, they did like. Bless them, they're very sensitive, not of everybody, but on another hand, if you see, like the way I see it, if you see a person who is trying to get close to HaShem, and person simply does not know, not because they're wicked, not because they want to feed you with non-kosher food. So no, they simply do not know. So I told them, oh, that's what I have to do? I say, yes, so that's what you must do. And say, do I have to kosher? I asked this person, last person I'm talking about, right, several questions. Like from answering, there's nothing like wrong with the way they handle their kitchen. Absolutely not. Especially the last person did not had problem with the dairy. That's amazing, right? They did not cook meat and fish together. So right. Everything is correct. So I told this person, so go immerse in the mikveh and actually call these people and say, you know what, I'm going to the mikveh. Tell them, I say, tell them I'm going to the mikveh. Maybe you want to come with me. Maybe you have a utensil you want to also. You need a Toveling. I can take it for you and do it for you like a service. So and then see how it's going to work. And that person did exactly as I said. And after some time, they invite them for tea, at least for tea, and these people came for tea and cake. You understand? So, but because they trying to be nice and politically correct, they never told this person, we're not going to come to your house because you never told the vessels. Again, right? I'm not sure what is so like offensive if we tell somebody that information. I'm not sure. Okay, no problem. Right, so next one, right? So again, but food is unaffected, but we prefer not to eat. Okay. One may keep non-immersed utensils. One may keep non-immersed utensils in their home without concern that they may be used accidentally without Tevilah. So that's that's a little lenient, but we can accept this opinion. In a sense, for example, you're not going to this mikveh is very far from you. You're not going to go because of the one jar or something like to go to deep. So you want to wait until you bought something on the internet, these plates, this and that, and like spoons or something. You wait until everything arrives. Maybe it's going to take 3 weeks or something. So then you want to go with everything together. There is no problem. Right? There's some people they want to go kosher and they try to buy all of the utensils new. It costs a lot of money, Baruch Hashem. So you need you start building up whatever it takes, 6 months, 3 months, whatever. Some people not try to they put aside from every paycheck some amount so they can buy more utensil. There is no problem. So after they collect everything, right, they can go in one shot. So just because it's not immersed, there is no problem. Or some other Jews, for example, gave him as a gift. So in this case, you really need to tell them. If you trust that these Jews are religious, and they actually told them. Okay. So section B. Okay. The material of which a utensil is made. Okay. A utensil made of following material requires Tevilah. So as we see, only few, right? All right. So number one, utensil constructed of a single material. Number one. Right? A metal cited in the Torah. Tevilah is biblically required for any utensil made of one of the 6 metal listed in the Torah. Right? Gold, silver. So silver, usually silver cups, silver spoons, right? Copper, iron, tin, and lead, or any alloy of which they are majority. For example, bronze or brass. Okay, so Igros Mashem. So okay, so let's do one by one, right? So metals, there are metals that require immersion on a biblical level, and some on the rabbinical level. So here on the biblical level, as pure materials, or they are like majority in most of the cases today in our own day and age, it's not realistic, right? Usually it's not, right? Usually it's a composite material. You buy pots and pans, like they have a Teflon covering, so it's already not this metal, okay, or some other like layers, okay. So again, gold, pure gold, or where gold is a majority. I'm not sure what would it be. I guess only Kiddush cup for some very rich people, okay. Silver is for sure Kiddush cup, for sure. Copper, I'm not sure what is made of copper. I'm not sure how healthy thing to. Maybe some pots. Maybe I think they would be very expensive. They're very heavy. I think the copper is very heavy and very expensive. Okay, iron. Also, nobody does things from pure iron. Iron get rusty, right? So even like stainless, it's not iron. It's composite of several metals. Okay, tin, right, and lead. Okay, nobody uses lead. Everybody knows that lead is very poisonous, right? Or alloy of which they are majority, right? For example, bronze or brass. Again, bronze and brass, I don't think people make utensil from these materials. Okay, but we got the point. So those, again, on a biblical level, if you have one of those, or right, if it's pure this metal, or this metal, at least majority, we say blessing. We got it. Next one, aluminum and other new metallic substances. It is assumed that other metallic utensils, even those made of newly discovered metallic substances, for example, aluminum, require Tevilah according to rabbinical law. Okay. However, since some poskim of the opinion that Tevilah is not required, the bracha should not be recited on the Tevilah. They say, see Appendix B. Okay, we're going to get to it. So I think in this appendix, he's going to list in this book, HaShem, so this Rabbi forced, Binyamin forced, this Shlita, so he compiled all of the, for us, he did amazing stories, so he compiled the list, all of the utensils, and say like, utensil by utensil, which requires Tevilah, which does not. So don't forget to mute your microphone, please. Okay, so now we're going to, again, this B. Okay, 1 second. 1 second, I was told there is no sound. 1 second. Oh, I apologize. There was, I'm not sure how it happened, but it was no sound. I'm not sure how. Apologize. Okay, so we continue. So in B. So next time we have to say something. Sorry. Okay. So we continue with what? We continue with B, right? Which is aluminum, or other metallic substances. Right? It is assumed that other metallic utensils, which are made of newly discovered metallic substances, so we say aluminum or others, so they require immersion on a rabbinic law. So meaning immersion is because they resemble this original that made of that resemble original that require Tevilah on a biblical level. However, since some of the poskim of the opposing, right, this Tevilah, so we say, yeah, we still do Tevilah, but without blessing. Okay, so we continue a little longer. So next one, C is glass, crystal, and pyrex. So rabbinic ordinance mandate the glass, crystal, coral, and pyrex. So all of this glass require Tevilah with the recital of the bracha, right? Canning should be immersed without bracha. Okay, so let's try to understand these things. And again, rabbinically, they say that so all of this glass require immersion. Why? Because they're similar to the metal. Meaning the metal you can melt and you can rebuild, do whatever you want. Same with glass, you can reconstruct. So that's, I think, is the reason. So right, so a glass, regular glass, like a right, drinking cups, the drinking glasses, right, crystal. So we know it's crystal. Coral, pyrex. So pyrex is actually that it's very, very strong, like a glass that you can put in the oven and you can bake in it and cook in it, right. Just 1 second. Right. So commentators say crystal is glass to which lead oxide has been added. Pyrex is a glass to which I cannot read it. Borosilicate has been added to reduce the expansion when heated. So meaning it's very strong material, pyrex, right? Right. So this we have to dip with a blessing. So all of the glass utensils and the derivatives glass with other things you have to do with a blessing. Okay. So commentators Chazal impose this obligation due to the similarity between glass and metal, right? As we said, both metal and glass can be repaired. Okay, repaired, he said, when broken by melting and recasting. Okay, so that's from Avodah Zarah. Yes. So meaning you can melt and recast. So that's the similarity. Canning ware should be immersed without bracha. So what is canning ware? Canning ware dishes are made of clay, right? That can and has property of both glass and earthenware. So earthenware will dip without blessing, if you have to dip. It is thus difficult to render a definite ruling regarding the requirements of Tevilah. One should immerse them without reciting bracha. Canning. So it's like it's glass and not glass at the same time. Okay. So next one is wood. So wood, earthenware, stone, and rubber. Okay. So all of these porous materials, right? Wood, earthenware, stone, and rubber utensil do not require Tevilah. Okay. It's Rambam. So again, if you want to tovel them without blessing, there is no problem. For example, the wood mixing bowl, right? Wood mixing bowl, a wooden meat tenderizer, okay, a rolling pin, right? That's a rolling pin. It's only used for a dough, I think, right? Cutting board, okay, okay, and the salad spoon. And any unglazed ceramic dish do not require Tevilah. So as been said, if it's glazed, we're going to see how it was glazed. Is it glazed considered to be Is the vase considered to be what? Glass or not? So that's would be the thing. Okay, so again, if it's wood, earthenware, stone, and rubber utensils. So today there are many like silicone utensils, right? So you would not need Tovel, but if you want, nobody's stopping you. Just don't say blessing. Okay, so and he gives example: wooden mixing bowl, wooden meat tenderizer, rolling pin, cutting board, right? Salad spoon, all this, right? Any unglazed ceramic dish, unglazed. And last one, and I think we're going to stop here, plastic. Although some authorities require Tevilah for plastic ware, right, and we're going to see why, most authorities maintain that the plastic utensils do not need Tevilah. This is a common accepted custom. One who wishes to immerse plastic ware should certainly not recite bracha. So again, plastic, and why, like, how is it plastic different from wood? We're going to see in a moment. Okay. So again, plastic. So some authorities say that plastic we must immerse plastic. Others say no. Okay, no problem. Right. So common accepted opinion do not require to immerse plastic. Okay. So commentary. What is it? How is the plastic is different? We noted above the glassware is a subject to Tevilah, since the broken glass can be melted and recast. So meaning we're going to back compare this glass with the metal. This reason applies to plastic as well. You can melt it and redo the utensil. Plastic too can be melted and refashioned. So you cannot do the same with wood, right? Or with a stone. So it's broken, it's broken. And as such should require Tevilah. Okay. So right. So let's stop here, and to be continued next week, of course, with more insights. So I apologize for the sound. I'm not sure how long we did not have sound. So maybe I share this piece like via Google Drive or something. So let's stop here. 5 minutes break, and we continue with other topics. Second. Right. I want to wish everybody good Shabbos. It was a very successful week. Baruch Hashem, we covered a lot, and so a lot of questions. Baruch Hashem. So until next week, I think next week they already sent us the schedule. So we're going to start BeEzrat Hashem 5 minutes later. So it's 8:40 Eastern Standard Time. 8:40. Okay. Thank you and good night. Thank you.